Beloved beings of light, have you ever stopped to reflect on where true healing begins? It does not begin with external therapies or temporary remedies, but within ourselves. True spiritual and emotional transformation happens when we turn inward and begin to explore the deep knowledge that resides within each of us. In many spiritual traditions, including Gnosticism, we are taught that healing does not come from external sources, but from the awakening of consciousness. The journey toward self-knowledge is the path to reaching a lasting state of balance and inner peace. In Gnosticism, we are invited to understand that healing begins with Gnosis, an esoteric, intimate, and transformative knowledge. As we seek this knowledge, we awaken to our true divine nature and begin to release the shadows we carry. Those repressed emotions, unhealed traumas, and limiting beliefs that prevent us from living authentically. The process of emotional and spiritual healing is deeply intertwined with this awakening of consciousness. On this channel, we often talk about how emotional healing is not just about dealing with symptoms, but about releasing and transforming the inner energies that keep us trapped. The spiritual healing we seek is not something outside of us, but the path to finding what is eternal and divine within ourselves. When you connect with this inner energy, you begin the journey of transcending emotional limitations, becoming increasingly aware of your divine essence and the peace you are capable of achieving. And the great truth, dear beings of light, is that while we search for this inner healing, we discover that it has always been within us. Gnosticism reminds us that we are gods in our essence, that suffering can be overcome by understanding the nature of reality and embracing the deep wisdom that lives within our being. Each step we take on this journey of self-knowledge is a step toward healing and spiritual awakening. As we go deeper into the journey of self-discovery, we are faced with the depth of spiritual awakening. In Gnosticism, this awakening is not a single event, but a continuous process, where true emotional healing begins when we open ourselves to inner knowledge, to Gnosis. Healing does not happen only on the surface, but it expands when we dive into the core of our being, questioning the limiting beliefs and emotional patterns that often imprison us in suffering. Gnosis is not an external wisdom acquired only through books or teachings, but rather a wisdom that unfolds within us when we awaken to our true essence. Gnosticism teaches us that we are divine beings, and by awakening this awareness, we can transcend emotional pain and the spiritual challenges that afflict us. This is the true power of spiritual healing, not a temporary fix, but a profound transformation that begins in the soul. This awakening of consciousness involves release, the release of unprocessed emotions, past traumas, and mistaken ideas about who we really are. Gnosticism invites us to look within, to know ourselves in a deep and complete way. In doing so, we not only overcome suffering, but we also reach a state of inner balance and spiritual peace, where we finally connect with our true nature. When we allow ourselves to know and understand this inner wisdom, we begin to realize that we are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. Instead, we become the masters of our own emotional and spiritual journey. By walking this path, we experience true emotional healing, because we free ourselves from the chains of the past and learn to live in alignment with our purest and most divine essence. Now that we understand the path of emotional and spiritual healing, we come face to face with the profound truth that this journey is not something to be experienced only in moments of retreat or meditation, but must be integrated into our daily lives. True transformation happens when we bring inner knowledge and spiritual healing into daily practice, applying the teachings of Gnosticism consistently. This process requires discipline, awareness, and intention, for it is not enough to merely understand divine wisdom. It must be lived. Integrating healing into daily life begins with the commitment to preserve and elevate our spiritual energy. Every choice we make, whether in our relationships, our eating habits, or in how we deal with our emotions, must reflect this intention for healing and spiritual growth. Gnosticism teaches us that the knowledge we acquire must manifest in our practical lives, for only then do we experience true change. Real healing is not just about managing symptoms, but about living in alignment with our true essence. True emotional and spiritual healing happens when we begin to integrate Gnostic knowledge into our daily lives. In Gnosticism, it's not just about understanding abstract concepts, but about living that wisdom day by day. For example, by practicing self-observation, we can begin to identify and release repressed emotions. This can be done through daily meditations, where we focus on perceiving our thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing them to naturally dissipate. By understanding that we are divine beings, we can cultivate inner peace even amid daily challenges, transforming our struggles into opportunities for growth. Another practical example is applying Gnostic detachment. In everyday life, this means letting go of limiting beliefs and habits that keep us stuck in suffering. By realizing that we are not defined by external circumstances, we can begin to act with more wisdom and less emotional reaction. Emotional healing, then, is not merely theoretical, but a continuous practice where Gnosis becomes the light guiding our actions, bringing harmony and balance to every moment of our lives. Now, I invite you, dear being of light, to reflect on your own journey. How has your search for emotional and spiritual healing been? How have you integrated this inner awakening into your daily life? Have you already begun to notice the changes that occur when you devote yourself to this deep inner healing? Share your experiences in the comments below. How has inner knowledge impacted your journey? What insights or challenges have you encountered along the way? Be honest with yourself. This is a personal and unique journey, and by sharing it, you not only help yourself, but also illuminate the path for others who are seeking the same transformation. Our healing journey is collective, and by connecting, we create a network of support and wisdom. Take this opportunity to reflect on how you can continue to elevate your energy, to integrate spiritual wisdom into every aspect of your life, and to transform yourself from the inside out. This is the moment to act and commit to your transformation. Are you ready to continue this journey and align more deeply with your divine essence?